All right, so for lesson 2, our topic's going to be creating text on master pages. And so what you're going to do is you're actually just going to open up the same file that we used for lesson 1, which is that setup.InDesign file. So if you just want to go ahead and open that back up or have it open on your screen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our fill and our stroke panels are both set to none. So I prefer to work through the Essentials Classic workspace. So if you're in Essentials, it's maybe not as easy to do a few things. So you see my fill is on none, my stroke is on black. So I'm just going to go right here in my menu bar and change that to none. So now I'm on none. I'm going to grab the type tool and I'm going to then drag a small rectangle anywhere in the rightmost columns above the 2 text frames. So we already have these 2 text frames down here. So I'm just going to make a text frame anywhere above those in the 2 farthest columns, which is those 2. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my selection tool, and then I'm going to drag the left handle of the frame so that it snaps to the red vertical line. And you may need to zoom in a little bit to do this. That's what I'm going to do actually, just so that I can see it a little bit better. And so when I get my selection tool, if you just bring it, it'll snap exactly to that red guideline. Alright, and you want to next drag the right handle of the frame so that it snaps to the edge of the document. So we're going to go all the way to the edge of the document here. Alright, so the width of the text box in the control panel should read 4.15. So if I look up here, I'm really close, so I'm just going to go ahead and just correct that 4.15 inches in my width. Alright, excuse me. Next, we're going to click the bottom center reference point. So that's also right here, so I'm going to click that bottom center reference point. And then I'm going to go ahead and type 1.35 in my y-axis, 1.35 there, and press enter. So that moves that bottom part up. And then I'm going to make sure that the height value is at 1.2. So I'm at 1.575, type 1.2 there, and you'll see that now my box is pretty small. So 1.35 here, 1.2, 4.15. So those numbers should be right there. Now, I'm going to click on the type tool, and I'm going to click inside my new frame, and I'm going to type the word location in all caps. So I just turn my caps lock on, and I type that in all caps. Once so now that I've done that, on the control panel, I'm going to center my text. So you just center that right here. Alright, and I'm going to set the typeface to Hobo Standard Medium. Let's see if we have that one. So I'm going to go over here to change it. And it does not look like we have Hobo Standard Medium. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Impact. So, oopsie. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to change that to Impact. So use Impact for that, not the Hobo Standard Medium. And then we're going to change that to 60 point. Alright, and then we're going to set the horizontal scale to 75%. So that's my tracking. Like I said, I'm just like you guys. Sometimes I have to kind of hover over them. So this one right here is my horizontal scale. I'm going to set that to 75%. And I'm going to press enter. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to push Command B. So Command B, and that's going to open my text frame options box. Alright, now I'm going to do the align list arrow, and I'm going to click bottom. So I'm going to find my align list arrow, which is right down here. I'm going to click bottom, and that's going to move that to the bottom of that text box. And then I'm going to press OK. So you see it just kind of jumped it down there. Now I'm going to deselect, and I'm going to compare my image, look at my image. Okay, so location should be centered. It should be at the bottom of that text box right there. Alright, so I'm going to get my selection tool. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold Shift and Option. So, okay, Shift and Option. And then I'm going to drag and drop a copy of the text frame anywhere straight below the original. So I'm going to drag and drop it down. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to click on the type tool and select the duplicated text, reduce the size to 24%, or 24. So I'm going to type in here 24. and then I'm going to type day/date in lowercase. So day/date right there in lowercase letters. Next, I'm going to get my selection tool, and I'm going to verify that the bottom center reference point on the control panel is selected, which it is. And I'm going to change the Y location to 1.75. And then I'm going to type 0.35 in the height box. So I'm going to change my height to 0.35. Okay, so you see they made that pretty small. There we go. So once we get there, next we're going to create automatic page numbering and insert white space between characters. So I'm going to get my type tool active, and I'm going to draw a text frame anywhere in the lower right hand corner of the spread. And I'm going to set its width to 1.25 inches and height to 2.25. So I'm actually just going to click down here. And it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to get my type tool, and I'm actually going to do what I need to do. Let's see, I'm going to click off of that. Select. Okay, so now I can draw. Why is it being crazy? Okay. Bring that down here to the bottom right. Okay, so I'm going to make sure my height of my box is at width to 1.25, 1.25, height to 0.25. I wasn't too far off. Okay, so that's kind of where I want that. And I'm going to position the text frame in the lower right hand corner of the spread inside of the margin. So I'm just going to do like that. Bring it right over there. Okay, so there we go. So I'm right inside this margin. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to text city with a capital C into that text frame with no space after the word, and then I'm going to choose any typeface or size that you like. I'm just going to use the default one, which is Minion Pro. Minion Pro, excuse me. And I'm going to verify that the cursor is still blinking to the right of the word. So I'm not going to change anything because there's no point. And then I'm going to click type on the menu bar. And I'm going to do insert special character. So I'm going to go up here to my very top menu bar. I'm going to click type. And then go down to insert special character. Special character. And go to markers and then current page number. So markers, current page number. Alright, so that would be city A. Okay, so as shown, a letter A appears in the text frame. This letter will change on the document pages to reflect the current document page. For example, page 4, the A will appear as a 4. So we're still working in our A master, so that's why it's showing right there. Okay, so next we're going to click the cursor between the Y and the A. So I'm going to put my cursor right there, right in the middle of those two. I'm going to click type and go to insert white space and M space. So type, insert white space, and then M space, not M, M, E-M. Alright, now on the control panel, I'm going to set it to align right. So I'm going to go up here and align right. And then click object on the menu bar. And I'm going to go down to text frame options. Text frame options, and that opens up this box. And then I'm going to set my vertical justification to bottom. So I'm going to go to vertical justification and bottom. Alright, and say OK. So at this point, this is kind of what your screen should look like. And now I'm going to copy the selected text frame and paste it in place and click the bottom left reference point. Hold on. I'm going to copy the selected text frame, paste it in place, click the bottom reference point, and change the X value to 0.25. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to do Shift Option and make a copy of it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the X value to 0.25 on it. So I'm going to go over here to X. It's got the bottom center one selected, but I need to do the bottom left. And I'm going to change that to 0.125. Alright, so it disappeared and actually came way over here. And we know that we're going to want that in the bottom right hand corner eventually. So that's about where it's going to be. Alright, so the text frame moves to the left side of the page inside the margin, reformat it so it resembles this. So we're going to left align this. So we're going to select it and we're going to left align. Okay, so that should be kind of look just like that there, okay? Alright, so at this point is a good place to save, so make sure you save here. File save. Okay, cool. Next, we're going to create a new master page spread based on another master page spread. That's a mouthful. Okay, so I'm going to expand my pages right here. So you see, all we've been working on really is this master page. And all these pages have been applied to that master. So next we're going to make a new one. So we're going to click our Pages Panel Options box and then do New Master. So I'll click this little button and I'm going to go down to New Master. Alright, and so we're going to click the button that says Based on Master and we're going to click A Master. Okay, and then we're going to say OK. Alright. Okay, if you click off of it, it will close. So just open back up. So you'll see right here that I have a B Master set. And if you have your B Master selected, like I do right here, it'll go to, you see City B. And if I go to my A Master, it'll say City A. But we're going to be on our B Master. Okay, so we're going to double click B Master on the Pages panel to view the B Master page, which is what I just did. And then, if necessary, you're going to go up to View and do Fit Page Spread. So View, Fit Spread, and Window. So that's just going to zoom this whole thing out. So that's what we did. Now I'm going to hide my guides. I'm going to go to View, Grids and Guides, Hide Guides. Okay, so that's kind of what everything looks like. I'm going to get my selection tool and I'm going to try to select stuff. But you see, if I try to select stuff, it's not really doing anything. So what we're going to do, if you need to select something to drag any of the elements around, what you would do is you're going to press Shift and Command, and then you would be able to select and move that. I'm going to undo that though right there. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to pause. Alright, so we're going to press down Shift and Command, and we're going to select this text box. We're going to select the date. So these text boxes here. This one, this one. Yep. Oop. Let me minimize that. Get that out of your screen. Get that out of your screen. And I'm going to also select this yellow box. Now, your class is coming in, and y'all are so loud at all times. It drives me crazy. So I'm going to select all of this stuff right here. Okay, so once I have all of that selected, I'm going to pause the video. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to click the middle left reference point on the control panel and put the X value to 0, so middle left. And I'm going to put the X value, to 0 and press enter. You see that stuff all moved over there. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this big, large blue frame. Okay. And we're going to click the middle right reference point. And we're going to put the X value to 12.5. 12.5. Okay. So you see we're just flip-flopping these things right here. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the Pages Panel Options box. I'm going to open my Pages panel back up, click my Options box, and then I'm going to click New Master. So I'm going to make a third master. This third master is going to be a C Master. Okay, it's going to be based off of none, so based on master none. And we're going to say OK. Alright, so this is a blank master. Now, we're going to double click the words on the A Master in the top part of the Pages panel to view the A Master spread. Alright, so we got our two thumbnails out here. So we're going to open our Pages panel. We're going to scroll up and double click on A Master. In the top part pages to view the Pages A Master thing, and we're going to select everything on here. So we're going to push Command, Option, and select it all on there. Okay, so everything's selected. And now we're going to double click on our C Master, and we are going to paste in place. So we're going to get up to Edit, and then Edit. Paste in place is not working. Aren't you working? Alright, we're just going to do Control V. Let me see if I even copied it. So let me scroll back. I'm going to try to select everything else again. Okay, Command C. Okay, copy. Now I'm going to go to C Master, and I'm going to edit and paste in place. So I didn't actually copied the last time. So you see it pasted all in place the way it's supposed to be.